Injury update. Adrian Wojnarowski reporting. ESPN sources LeBron James' right foot is expected to be reassessed in 2 weeks to see how much progress that he has made. But timeline on return expected to extend beyond that checkpoint. Where Lakers reside in the standings by then could impact how soon it makes sense for him to return. Dave McMenamin is now with us. You're in Memphis. What are the Lakers' immediate plans without LeBron?
Richard, Troy Brown Jr. will get the starting spot. He spoke to reporters this morning. He said, I can't say this hasn't been the craziest season he's ever been a part of in his time in the NBA, but he's looking forward to what the lineup can do defensively. He specifically mentioned Jared Vanderbilt and being out there, his length, his activity alongside Vando's, and hoping to free up things to get the team moving. Transition games, steals, deflections, 3-on-2. 2-on-1, and that can make up somewhat for the absence of LeBron. He said he's not trying to come in, trying to replicate LeBron. You can't do that. But they're hoping that the depth that they added at the trade deadline can make a difference. And obviously, they need D'Angelo Russell back as well. He's been out the last couple games with an ankle injury, and he's doubtful for tonight too. So it's not just LeBron that they're missing right now.
Yeah, this couldn't come at a worse time for LA. What are the Lakers saying kind of behind closed doors about making it through the next few weeks without LeBron? They were just playing better. They had that outstanding comeback against Dallas, an unexpected comeback, and it looked like they were starting to build some momentum.
Yeah, Richard, I'm told they're going to have an all-hands-on-deck coaches meeting today and go through lineup permutations and figure out what groups can work together here. You know, I think two names that will come up in that conversation are Rui Hachimura and Lonnie Walker. Both those guys had kind of been in lesser roles once the team was reshuffled at the trade deadline. And, certainly with Rui playing the same position as LeBron, there's some minutes there. And Lonnie Walker, they like, and it was actually a big part of their team in the early going this season. They like what he can bring offensively to this group. And so, again, this is tough for Darvin Ham to have to go through again. He just thought he had something settled. He said he finally had his starting lineup he planned to use for the rest of the season. And now he has to figure things out all over again.
No, thank you, Dave. That's just tough news out of LA. Look, losing LeBron James is not great. The Lakers will have to navigate the next 2 or 3 weeks, if not more, without him. Zach, I'm going to ask you, do you believe that this closes their playoff window?
I don't. I'm not going to go there yet. I will say I'd feel a lot better about not going there if they had D'Angelo Russell, because now they're down LeBron and they're down their starting point guard, and I wonder what that offense is going to look like in the minutes that Dennis Schroeder has to rest because he's not going to be able to play 48 minutes. What is that going to be like? But I do think if D'Angelo Russell could come back soon, none of those teams ahead of them are like runaway freight trains. They have these next 3 games coming up after tonight. They have Oklahoma City, Minnesota, Golden State. Can you squeak out 2 of those? Is there a 35-point, 15 rebound Anthony Davis game in there somewhere? If D'Angelo Russell comes back, I think they have enough to sort of muddle through and hang in the race for 9 or 10. I think everything above that is probably going to be closed off to them now because the LeBron loss is just that big, and it may turn out to be so big and so unfillable that they fall even more than I'm thinking. But I think there's a world where they go, say, 4-6 over their next 10 games, get a little lucky with other teams losing ahead of them, and find themselves, hey, we're in 11th, we still got a shot. I think that's in play.
Well, D'Angelo Russell really is the key here. And from what I'm told, they're expecting him back soon. Probably not on this road trip Friday. They're hopeful he might come back. That's a fun game Friday against his former team in Minnesota. But that ankle injury was very ill-timed for him. He had a great debut with them and won him a game against the Warriors. And for now, him to be out right now with LeBron being out, Anthony Davis, as one staffer told me, Anthony Davis is going to be surrounded. Okay, when you don't have D'Angelo Russell out there, you don't have another ball handler out there, he needs some help to just space the floor. D'Angelo Russell was such a good fit for them, not only because he can handle the ball, but because of his shooting ability. And so if he can get it back by that Friday game here in LA against the Timberwolves, it mitigates some of the damage here with LeBron being out.
No, I agree, and this is why you got to have depth for a team, a playoff team, and this is why they should have made this deal. This deal's available in the summertime. This is why you got to have your team ready to go beginning of the season, because times like this, with the margins so close and small, it's tough for them, but I still got the Lakers, making the play-in.
Of course you do.
Well, of course, you have the Lakers. I think the biggest issue here is they asked, is there enough time? Well, the is there enough time is not only where they are, but it means that they have no room for error. And that's, I think, the biggest problem. I think LeBron James' minutes were probably way too high on a subpar team. He was having to fight so hard just to keep the team within striking distance. And now he gets help, but it's in the last third of the season, and now you can see him starting to break down. You got to protect that older guy, and you got to protect his minutes. But ahead on NBA today, the
Melo Ball suffered a fracture in his right ankle during Monday night's win over the Detroit Pistons. The team announced after the game. Stephen A., obviously we know what a talent he is. He's just 21 years old, only able to play 36 games this season. How big of a blow is this injury?
No, it's everything, but in the same breath, it's nothing. And here's what I mean by that. Charlotte Hornets weren't going anywhere anyway. They haven't been a good team this year. We know that record-wise they've been quite awful. There's a lot of things that they've got to improve upon. We get all of that. We understand it. And so they were on a fast track to nowhere. And as far as I'm concerned, this facilitates them potentially getting in the win beyond the sweepstakes. I don't know if they've got the possession of their number one overall pick. Number one pick, actually, first-round draft pick. I didn't look into that, so I don't know. But I'm assuming they have their first-round pick. But that's really what this comes down to. The other thing that I want to say is, damn to the Ball family. Bad luck.
Same.
Him and prior to that, Lonzo. I mean, my goodness. What the hell is going on as it pertains to their health? They've had a string of bad luck over the last year and a half. So I just want them both back healthy because they both can ball and they're good players that we need to see in the NBA. In the case of LaMelo Ball, potentially great. It would be nice to see him back on the court healthy. Wishing him nothing but the best.
Yeah, stars in the association. But guys, how about those Knicks? Stephen A. defending home court against one of the best teams in the association, taking down the Celtics at MSG 109-94. The Knicks extend their win streak to 6 games. As for Boston, they no longer have the best record in the NBA. Jason Tatum picked up his first career ejection in the loss. Tatum was given a second technical late in the fourth. He spent most of the game frustrated. He was not only unhappy with the way the whistle was going towards him, he took only one free throw, a technical foul shot, but he also finished the game 6 for 18 from the field. Jason, talk to me.
The first one, no call. If you look, it was clearly a foul. And those are the ones that's tough. Like you get a tech for something that you probably was right about. Second one, I just told him this was probably the best officiated game I've been a part of. I tried to give him a compliment. Didn't go over so well. I said it was the best officiated game I've been a part of. I meant it.
That was some hilarious sound. All right, before we get into that aspect of the game, Stephen A., go Knicks, go. How big of a threat are your Knicks in the East? Are you feeling good about yourself right now?
Yeah. Listen. I'm cautiously optimistic. I want to applaud certain things. Number one, Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle showing up to play practically every game. In Julius Randle's case, every single game this year. He hasn't missed a game. Major love and props to them. The consistency, the dependability, the reliability matters. It's number one. Number two, love the fact that Mitchell Robinson is back swatting stuff out all over the place. That rim protector, I like that. Number three, Tom Thibodeau is a Coach of the Year candidate. I ain't giving it to him over Mike Brown, but damn it, he's a Coach of the Year candidate doing an exceptional job, tremendous job. Props to Leon Rose, Worldwide West, and the crew. You acquired Jalen Brunson. You deserve all the credit in the world because that brother should have been an all-star. Very pleased. Most improved player in the game as far as I'm concerned. Very pleased with what I'm seeing for the Knicks. Here's what I want to tell Eminem, who, by the way, I was watching do the post game last night for the MSG Network. Very good job, girl. You way to go. Okay? So props to you, all right? And JJ Redick, and by the way, I want to give you your props for you and RJ calling the games the way that you call games. I'm very pleased. Y'all make me very proud. But let me tell y'all something right now. Let me tell you something right now what's on my mind. As optimistic as I am for the New York Knicks, there is one thing that will ruin this season. And that's if they get sent home by Donovan Mitchell. That better not happen. Now, I don't care if they lose to Boston, if they lose to Milwaukee, if they lose to Philly. We all know that in the Eastern Conference, it's basically been a three-headed monster. We get all of that, okay? You lose to one of those teams, all right? I'm cool with it. I understand. Be competitive. Try to push it to 7 games, but it's all right. You lose to Donovan Mitchell, the person you could have had if you were willing to give up R.J. Barrett and you held on to him. Okay, I'm telling you what I know. Yeah, the picks were an issue. Yeah, Leon Rose should have been on the damn phone negotiating with Danny Ainge instead of leaving it to Gershon Rojas to do it for him, who came over from Minnesota and was a damn consultant. Even though I like him, but damn it, he ain't the one that should have been on the phone negotiating with Danny Ainge. That should have been Leon Rose, but we're going to let that go. But in the end, Leon Rose made that decision. We're not letting go of R.J. Barrett. Okay. We're going to hold on to him and pass on Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell better not send the New York Knicks home. Otherwise, I'm going to lose it. JJ, Eminem, I don't even know what the hell I'm going to say.
Scenario.
I might have to call the bosses and ask for time off.
Scenario.
Because it's going to be bad.
Scenario. If the Knicks come up short versus Cleveland, but Donovan Mitchell is